just one big story, isn't it?
Hi everybody, welcome to the Story Connection. I'm your host, Donna Wilberg. Well, everyone has a story to tell, and my guest today is going to be telling his story on October 5th on the big screen at the Crest Theater. Please welcome Adam Chollet.
Hi.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I want to know more about your film.
Well, my film takes place in Northern California. It's about a father and son that go on a fishing trip, something I'm quite familiar with. They make an unexpected discovery, and the son has to make a decision what to do. They have to find a way out of a hairy predicament that they're in, and that's what it's about.
And it's called
fictional.
The Find?
It's called The Find. Which there's a couple different meanings with The Find. So,
Okay.
He finds out what's truly important in life at the end.
Oh, cool. So what inspired you to write this? Let's go back to the beginning and talk about the nuts and bolts.
Sure. I always wanted to, be involved with movies and film and write stories, and I come up with stories all the time, and even when I'm out fishing myself, and I'll think up stories, and I wanted to participate in the PCS Film Festival, and you need to write a script about something to do with the Sacramento area, and they always say write about what you know. So I wrote a 10-minute script about a father and son that go fishing. So I mean, those are two things I know. That's something I know a lot about. So the setting and the environment was something I was very familiar with. Of course, the story's fictional. But it does draw from certain experiences that I've had, over the last 20 years, running into people when you're out fishing and stuff like that.
How long did it take you to write the script?
I wrote the script one afternoon. Then we did a kind of a read-through with some people in a screenwriting class. Took notes and from people and from my own. After hearing it out loud, went home, rewrote the script again, and then I've made a few changes since. But pretty much, it was kind of one of those things where, for 2 weeks prior, the story was, bopping around in my head, of what it would be, and the different scenes and shots, and kind of what would take place. And then I actually sat down and wrote it. So it was, 10 pages. So
10 pages is 10 pages.
That's right.
Okay, so do you have a film background?
I don't. I mean, I've been in a few little commercials for companies that I've worked for, just as a promotional thing for the bank I worked for. I used to also work at an automotive repair facility. So I've been in a few little commercials. Some people I know in student film had me participate in their films and be in front of the camera, things like that. But it's really the first time I've ever finished a story, turned it in, and actually gone forward and made something with it. So what has the experience been like for you? The experience for me has been great. All the people that you meet, there's hard work involved, and as they say, what can go wrong will go wrong. And so I had some experiences where I had to kind of figure it out on the fly and adapt when you're out there on set and shooting the scenes. You had to make it work, which can be a little bit stressful. And I am a perfectionist, so I want things to be as great as they could possibly be out there. So I learned about that, but overall it was a great experience, a lot of fun, and I was involved with getting the film permits and carrying equipment and acting in the movie as well, and so I did. I held the microphone, and so I was the sound guy for a small portion of the movie, but never behind the camera. I'm still learning that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal right there.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. My cousin, who lives in Chico. We, grew up going to family Christmas and everything at our grandparents' house. He is a cinematographer, and so he helped me out. He's got a little production company up in Chico. So he and his business partner Bruce came down and did all of the, they had all the equipment, and so I really had a great couple of guys helping me with, bringing my story to life.
That's
So,
cool.
right.
So, are you happy? Does it feel like your story? And
It does. The thing about, and obviously I've read a lot about making movies and what different producers and different directors say and what even different actors say. And one of the things I really took to heart was that it is a collaborative art and process, and the fact that it's never going to be exactly the way you envision. There are going to be other people there, and they're going to be contributing to what you're creating, and sometimes they have great ideas that you didn't think of, and to be open to, and willing to allow others to influence what the end result will be, is one of the biggest things. So, and I'm happy with it. Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is. It's a big collaboration, and I don't know if you found this true. Like you said, you start rewriting things as you're getting into the nitty-gritty of it too, because situations change.
Well, and you find your actors, and you do read-throughs, and then even when you're out on set, something that just not clicking with them, the way a certain line might be delivered or what is said. So I even just say, well, how would you say it? And say it a couple different ways. Let's do a couple different takes, and that way you can make sure to get what seems really authentic and what seems, true
well,
to
super.
the story.
It sounds like you had a really good experience.
I
so,
did.
are you going to keep writing?
Well, indeed, it's funny. You tend to think you can't do things, and you tend to be negative about, you tend to, well, I don't know if I could actually write a movie script or write a novel, or if I could actually do certain things. And that's your own worst enemy, And so I finally got over that hump. And so over the last year or two, I've written stories, written some scripts, and I plan to continue. Like this for me is not the one and only, but hopefully the first of many projects and films that I can be a part of in one way or another, whether I write them or just help direct them or whatever.
Or act in them.
Or act in them.
Now that your face is going to be all over the screen.
Yes, I know. I may look away during that portion. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
but I got to play a part in my own movie, which is great, and I got to kind of play a little bit of a bad guy in the movie. So that was a lot of fun as well, getting to play the bad guy. So. Yeah.
That's cool. So you had the full experience. You
I
did.
did
Do a little bit of everything.
I did, and I'm very fortunate, and I kind of see it as everything happens for a reason. And as far as being an actor, it's something that it's kind of in my blood. My father is a drama teacher and English teacher. He just retired after 20 years of teaching drama and English to high school students. So, and I've seen him in The Music Man, when I was a kid at the State Theater, and he was the Music Man. I saw a lot of his plays that he wrote and the kids performed at his high school and stuff like that. So, it's something I've always loved as far as drama and acting, and as many people would say, I'm a big movie buff, but to actually put myself out there and attempt to do it myself, it's like a friend of mine said, a lot of people talk about doing things. He's like, but you're actually doing what you were talking about. So, I'm proud of that, if nothing else. Yeah, it's.
So did your father have any, did he have any comments or input into your characters?
I sent it to him, and it's funny, I sent the script to him after it was chosen, and he read it, And at first, he was going to give me some critiques and criticisms, and he was going to maybe make some suggestions. And then the second email from him said, "You know what? On second thought, I want you to make it. I want it to be all yours."
Oh my gosh.
And so, yeah, so I said, okay, well, maybe you can tell me after you watch the movie, what you may have done different. Because I'm always very open to criticism, and obviously, just starting out in making a film, there's a lot that I don't know. There's a lot that I've learned. So.
Well, you're just make me cry. That's such a neat thing, to have that connection, behind the scenes. And that's what we're here for, is to tell the story behind the story.
Right.
So
well, yeah, I grew up. My father took me fishing from the time I could walk, and he's taught me many life lessons. And my mother was a social worker. He's a teacher. I mean, we're not people that value a Bentley above family and friends. We understand what's important in life, and that was taught to me. Whether it, from both parents, and whether my dad was out fishing and we were talking about things. So certainly I've had great role models growing up, and helped me keep a head on my shoulders. Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
So the other stories that you've written, are they kind of true to life, or?
Some of them are pretty fantastical, pretty fictional, and some of them are fairly true to life, but just have a spin on it. Real life situations. But what if this happened, and then from there on, what would the characters do, kind of a thing. So. I even have one story that takes place 200 years from now. It's set in the future. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah. So.
Super. Well, you've brought a clip to show us.
I have.
About the fun. You want to set it up for us?
A 1-minute clip that I brought in shows the father and the son getting ready to head down and go fishing. They run across a couple of individuals who they're not sure about.
Okay.
And so that's what it is.
Super. Well, let's take a look.
What you boys doing?
Oh man, we're just here to drown a few worms.
You gonna do what?
Fishing.
Yeah, right. Hey, be sure to watch out for them snakes.
Yeah.
Well, that was awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole thing. And I recognize some of the actors in there. You've got a really good cast.
Randy Taylor's the father. He's been in some PCS films, and I think he's in 1 or 2 this year, as well as Dustin Miller. Both of them are in some films this year. They're great actors, great people to work with. And then also G, as he goes by, Glenn Koppel, G. August K. He's the other guy, the other bad guy with me. So
How fun.
on my side, yeah.
Oh, good. And you have some female actors in there as well.
Julia Marinova plays a part in it, but I don't want to give too much information of what she is and when she comes into the film. But she does play a role in it. She's great as well. So, and it's just 5 characters. I kept it simple because I wanted to make sure that I could do it well and have a great product at the end, if it was chosen, which it was. So.
Super. So what have you learned from the experience, and what would you do the same? What would you do different? What would you expand?
Well, I think I would choose to have more locations. I only had 3 locations, and so that was fairly easy. I was worried about getting film permits and that sort of thing, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So I would probably have a few more locations. I would write in some more characters, play with the idea of having extras, and that sort of thing. I've actually got a couple of ideas for new stories just in the last few weeks that would require all of that, a lot, kind of a bigger picture kind of thing.
So now do you feel that you're more capable of biting off a little bit more?
I do. I will say that, as far as being a producer goes, it would be nice to have someone helping out with everything from the props and the organization of all the talent, the locations and permits. And if I had somebody to help out with more with that sort of thing, then I would be, I think I'd feel more comfortable with doing a lot more, and it would make it a lot easier. If you're carrying equipment and acting and directing, and there's a lot going on, and it's hard to you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. So it's actually did have Lauren Wagner, who was great, and she helped out with producing and was on set and keeping everything on track, which was great. And she brought a couple of her students. She teaches at Consumnes, and she teaches film at Consumnes. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Super. Well, it looks like you had a really awesome experience, and do you have everybody rallying for you to come to the crest?
I do. My mother, my stepfather, and a group of family from up in Orville, which is where I grew up, they plan to come down. My dad and his wife, they're coming, of course. My sister, my nephews, friends, a lot of friends are coming, so it should be a lot of fun, It would be interesting to get the feedback from all of the people that I know, because they all know about the film and that what's happening as far as that I'm making it, things like that, but they're going to see it for the first time at the Crest Theater, and I'm sure that it's going to be something totally different than what they imagined. So.
Wow. Okay, so now that you've done this film, do you have any desire to go further into other aspects of filmmaking?
I do, actually. I would, like I said, I want this to be the beginning of working in film. However it may unfold, whether it be directing or producing. I'd like definitely to be writing, because that's definitely a big passion of mine is writing, and maybe acting. Sometimes I love it, and sometimes I'm unsure about about the acting portion of it, but.
Well, I imagine, directing and having, and jumping in there yourself, I imagine it gives you a different perspective on what you expect from people and how you, as an actor, would deliver your lines as a character or whatever, don't you think?
Getting to be in so many different positions and wearing so many different hats, I certainly can see what anybody else is looking at so for instance, if I were to try to act in something, or I know what the director or casting director is looking for. I understand a lot of the production aspects of it, and vice versa. So certainly it's helped me see the big picture and see it from all angles, which is invaluable. However I end up using that knowledge, remains to be seen, but it's certainly something that I'm very happy that I was able to do. So.
I imagine it would help in your writing too, to be able to, insert direction or action, or be a little bit more specific about what you want now that you've been in that position.
Definitely, knowing what it's like to be an actor, and knowing and directing actors, and being out on set with everybody and crew. When writing, I can certainly, when I'm writing a script now, I can certainly have the benefit of giving a better direction and better indication of what a scene or what a character is really supposed to be doing or feeling, versus, before when, a lot of things you kind of assume or you take for granted that it's going to be known, or you may even give, too much information. Like that it's not all of that is needed for someone to, read the script and act the part. So.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, we've only got a few minutes left of the show, believe it or not. So do you want to give everybody your information and give a plug for the film?
Sure. It's called The Find. You can find it on Facebook at The Find Movie. So Facebook/thefindmovie.com. It will be at the Crest Theater on October the 5th. And it'd be great for everybody to come out and watch down at the Crest Theater. They can even reach me at Chollet@hotmail.com if they wanted to just send me an email and get more information as well, which is ACHOLLET@hotmail.com. So,
Super.
yeah.
Well, thanks, Adam. I'm really looking forward to it. I love your poster. I love the whole idea of it, and I imagine that scenery is just going to be breathtaking.
It's a beautiful location that we were able to shoot, and yeah, I mean, I think everyone will enjoy it, and it's a good story with a good moral message as well. It's what's important in life is family and friends, and money comes second. So
There you go.
yeah.
Super. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Story Connection, shall we?
The Story Connection airs the second and fourth Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our companion show, Paranormal Connection, airs the first and third Thursdays of each month. Each episode repeats the following Friday at 1:30 p.m. and Saturday at 5:30 a.m. You can watch these programs online at the same airtimes by going to accesssacramento.org and clicking Watch 17, or you can watch us on Comcast Channel 17 in the Sacramento region and on AT&T Channel 99. For information on upcoming shows and previous Story Connection guests, go to storyconnectiontv.blogspot.com. You can contact us at storyconnectiontv@gmail.com, and don't forget, join us on Facebook, become a friend, and become a fan.
Adam, with a couple of minutes that we have left, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers about your experience or about writing or?
I would say that if you want to do something in life, go for it and do it. And it doesn't matter what your age is and what you've been through. And a lot of times people are going to tell you that you can't do something, and don't listen to them, and just pursue whatever it is that makes you happy and follow your dreams. Whatever the end result may be, at least I got a chance to, write something and do something, and something I've always wanted to do, and that's really what life's about.
Yeah, you really put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So, and you got to be proud. You started out with a story, and look at where you've gone.
Right. I'm very proud of, what I've put together, and we'll see the end result. We're still in post. We're still editing and things like that. But I'm very proud of, whatever we end up with, I will be proud of, because of all the hard work that we've put into it. So.
Yeah.
And following through.
Did you have fun?
And had a blast. Met so many great people, and had a blast doing it. So.
That's good. That's always the most important thing. Did you have fun?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what, life's about the journey, not the destination.
There you go. Well, it sounds wonderful, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm sure everybody out there is looking forward to seeing, this connection, father and son. That's a really important relationship.
Well, sure. It's loosely based on my own relationship with my father. Of course, there's some things written in and some dramatic effects a little bit. It's not a conversation identical to something that we've had, but certainly, it's, that the father and son care about each other, which is how I feel about, both my parents. So,
yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want to take this time to thank my fabulous crew for coming out in making this show happen. Greg and Lisa, Ted and Laura, Laureen and Rick, we really appreciate your help, and we couldn't do it without you. So thanks for coming out and putting this on for us. So it's a little production within a production.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it works. And you really do need people, you know, to pitch in and help you do things in life.
You do.
Yeah.
And no matter what you're doing, help is always needed, and, you know.
It's there for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, follow your dreams. I'm looking forward to seeing more from you.
Well, thank you. I will follow my dreams. That's definitely, you know, something I realized was, you know, you can only control what you do in life, not what happens around you. And you can certainly go after something if you want it. So.
Super. Well, again, that's The Find, October 5th at the Crest Theater. You can get tickets through Access Sacramento, and you can also get them at the box office. And I believe the show starts at 1 o'clock. So it's going to be a good year. So hope everybody comes out and supports all the filmmakers and their efforts to entertain you. All right. Thanks again, Adam. And with that, we're going to say goodnight.